we've never changed our mission, and our mission is to give a home to kids who have nowhere else to go.
If it wasn't for Boys and Girls Haven, I don't feel I would be the person I am today.
Far too often, I think young people who are in trouble are seen as bad or unworthy or unlovable and are cast aside.
There's so much that goes on here that is essential to bringing up an adolescent.
The whole saying, it takes a village to raise a child, well, this is a village.
Father Maloney was more than just a Catholic priest. He was a community leader. He was a visionary. He was a civil rights activist.
And he recognized the fact that boys that were aging out of St. Thomas St. Vincent Orphanage and St. Joe's Orphanage were being put in with the juvenile boys, the delinquent boys.
With that vision, he approached community leaders, and this wonderful campus and facility was built through the generosity of our community leaders at that time.
And it really was a mission that involved a lot of people in the community. And now, through the years, it's just grown and grown and grown, and it's taken on a much fuller mission.
Father knew men, young men, boys, better than anybody I've ever met. He could look you in the eye and he would know you in 30 seconds. He would know everything about you that was necessary for him to know.
When young ladies and young boys come to Boys and Girls Haven, they're generally on a trajectory, and that trajectory is going to lead towards incarceration, homelessness, joblessness, just not a very good outcome for these kids.
All of the young people that we serve are coming from a background where they've experienced some type of disadvantage, and unfortunately the majority have experienced abuse or neglect in the homes that they were living in prior to coming to Boys and Girls Haven or coming into State's care. Most don't have a stable family to return back to. They may feel alone in the world and somewhat unattached. When they come through our door, one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is becoming that family for them. We want to become the family that they may not have outside of our campus, outside of our agency, so that even when they've left us, they know they can always come back home. They always have a family to return home to. They live day to day thinking about how am I going to survive from one day to the next, and often can't lift their gaze up to the sky to think about what could be, and that's our job.
We take kids who nobody else wants, and we give them the structure, the discipline to succeed, and then we take and get them back on their feet with an education.
Most of the young people that we serve are several grades behind when they come to us in terms of their education.
Big focus for us is to catch them up educationally, put them on a track to achieve their educational goals, whether that's a high school diploma and then to move into a vocation, or if they plan on going to college or a technical trade school. We want to provide them with the tools and the motivation to go out and achieve their educational goals.
I wasn't able to stay in high school because of so many moves, and my credits started falling behind, so I opted to get my GED. The teachers were just amazing, and after my GED, Boys Haven helped me enroll in college. And so I went to JCC for a little while, and I have a better job and a better life because of it, I really do.
If they need that structure, that discipline, hey, you wake up at 6:30, you eat at 7, you take a shower, you go to school, you come back, you do your homework, you do your chore.
We teach them cleaning, we teaching them correct hygiene. We also take them outside and take them around the community and show them how to do different jobs, you know.
I had to learn how to interact with people. I wasn't used to that. I wasn't used to, you know, telling people how I felt or what was wrong with me. I usually just kind of locked myself in this little box and kind of held it in.
Some of the skills that we incorporate into our program are included like proper things like greeting. How do you greet someone? Some things like follow instructions. How to accept no. You know, those type of skills that you would think that a lot of kids have as adolescent young men, but they don't come in with. You know, how to accept the decisions of authority. That's very important. You know, and not only that, we also offer self-control strategies. And each time these kids perform these social skills and independent living skills properly, they're immediately acknowledged. Catch them doing good.
It's sometimes a little bit difficult for an 18-year-old to think about staying in foster care and being in an independent living program, because just like any teenager, they're ready to get out in the real world and try their survival skills.
I love being in an independent living program because me personally, I'm independent. Like, I don't like asking for help, but I've learned out in the real world, I have to ask for help. Like, if I'm struggling with classes, I can call my case manager and be like, I need your help with this, and she'll help me as much as she can. I have Boys Haven to fall back on.
Boys and Girls Haven has mentoring services here for our young people, where we connect them with a caring, supportive adult in a one-on-one relationship. And obviously it's about developing a friendship that we hope will last a lifetime, long after our services may cease. Through the mentoring relationship, they are able to develop life skills, whether that's a mentor helping them complete a job application and preparing for their first job interview. Maybe it's about going grocery shopping together and doing comparison shopping and helping them make good decisions. But also about, just developing their self-esteem and their self-confidence that they can do it.
We want to equip kids with all of the skills necessary and the resources necessary to go out and become independent. So our kids are going to find gainful employment and our community benefits because we have a stronger workforce and we're filling that gap.
10 years ago, if someone would have told me that I would be working with horses and have a professional job at Churchill Downs, I'd probably think they were crazy. Being the first person to actually come through the equine system here at Boys Haven, it really helped me out as far as, I guess, being patient. It's really time consuming and it's a lot of hard work really working on the horses. It's a 24-hour job.
We do a couple different things up here in the equine program. We have a vocational training program and then we have equine therapy as well. So our vocational training program, we're working with our older youth that are getting ready to leave state's care, and so they're in need of employment skills. And so we pull them up here and we teach them job skills, and then we use the horses to help with their therapeutic needs as well.
One of the biggest skills that the kids learn up here is how to work together. Being part of a team and actually working together is really important out in the workplace, and learning to work with people that you might not like, horses you might not like, is very important because you will always work with that one person that you don't like and you can't stand, but you have to figure out how to make it work.
The horses are, depending on the size, roughly 1,200-pound therapists, and they are, in my opinion, by far some of the best therapists out there. And why they're so good at it is they have no judgment. They completely live in the moment. They don't care what you did yesterday. They don't care what you're doing tomorrow. It's all about today for them. And that's really helpful for our kids when so many of them are still kind of living stuck in their past, in their abuse and in their trauma. So it's a really good pairing. And so when horses deal with their problems, what we learn from them is they deal with the issue right then and there and they leave it right there. So our kids learn from how the horses interact with each other that, okay, yes, you've had these things happen and yes, they were bad experiences at the time, but you don't have to let that dictate every single day of your life. You can choose to address it, leave it behind, and go forward to a brighter future.
One of the things I'm very proud of working here at Boys and Girls Haven is the conversation that happens on a daily basis here where someone says, this young person is struggling, they're not doing well, they're stuck, and the first thing that the staff will say is, how can we do more? How can we go further?
When you work with a young boy or young girl for many years and it comes time for them to leave, it's kind of heartbreaking. Just when you think the young bird is going to fly out of the nest and be on their own, and then they're gone.
I really love this place, and I don't think without Boys Haven I probably would not have survived.
There's something about this place that's magic. It works. I mean, it really does. It takes kids and straightens them out and puts them on the life path and gets them on the road to recovery.
We have successes every day. Every job that one of our kids secures, that's a success. Every kid that receives their high school diploma or the GED, that's a success. Every youth that buys a home and starts a family that's free of abuse and neglect, that is the greatest success, and that's what we're here for. That's what we do at Boys and Girls Haven.
Before I came to Boys Haven, I was like real unhappy most of the time, and nowadays I'm like one of the happiest guys you'll meet.